Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So I just wanted to let people know who aren't watching the news that Derek Chauvin has been found guilty on all charges. As you all know, he was charged with second-degree murder and other charges with respect to the killing of George Floyd. This is great news. This is a positive development because this case actually is bigger than just this one case. It's about the American criminal justice system and about whether or not police officers can be held accountable for brutalizing and killing black people. So this is a positive development. This is a great thing. And it gives people some sense of hope. I thought that the prosecution did a great job. As I pointed out before, they had powerful closing arguments in this case. And I'm glad that, we have justice in this case. Now, I'm sure that he's going to appeal his conviction, and we'll see what happens, with the appeal. But, I'm certain that he will probably appeal, and this probably will continue on. But for now, this man, this killer, has been locked up for killing George Floyd. You know, it was a powerful moment to see that man walk away in handcuffs, to see the police actually cuff him and take him away to go to jail. This man killed his brother. And no reasonable person could watch that video and conclude that this was anything other than murder. Here you had this man, George Floyd, was handcuffed, his hands behind his back, held down by two other officers, and you had Derek Chauvin push his knee into his brother's neck. And despite all his cries for his mother, his cries out, for, saying that he can't breathe, talking about he's through, talking about how he feels pain all over his body. Despite all of that, despite cries from the audience, from the bystanders, this man, Derek Chauvin, was completely callous. He had no regard for human life. He looked at this as if it wasn't a big deal. While people were crying out for this man to get off of George Floyd's neck, this man had his hand in his pocket with a stern, arrogant look on his face. Even after this brother was unconscious, this man kept his knee on his brother's neck. If this is not a clear case of murder, I don't know what is. I am so glad that this jury was able to see through all the nonsense, through all the lies and misrepresentations of defense counsel, and I'm glad that they found this man guilty. So perhaps this, will be a seed for change in this country. I understand that it's one verdict, in one case, in one particular city, but we need to use this as a launching pad to push for more reforms when it comes to police brutality. We need to push for passage of that George Floyd Act that's before Congress. We need to be calling our members of Congress. We need to be calling, calling our senators to make sure that they pass this into law so that we don't have to see any more George Floyds. It's a great thing that this cop is locked up, and perhaps this will be a deterrent. That perhaps this will deter, other cops from doing the same thing. But we need systemic change. It's not enough to have one verdict in one case. We need to fundamentally change the system as it exists right now so that we don't have to see any more George Floyds, so we don't have to see any more Eric Garners and Philando Castiles and all these other countless brothers and sisters killed by these police. We need to change the practices in these police departments so we no longer have to see, this situation of police brutality. I hope that this is a sign of new change on the horizon. And I hope that there's fundamental change in the criminal justice system. You know, I have to commend the prosecution for bringing this case. And one of the things that the prosecution did in their strategy that I thought was like one of the most brilliant things that they could have done was to make this about Derek Chauvin's actions instead of just making it a blanket statement against the police. They made it clear that this is not a case against all police. This is a case against Derek Chauvin. And that way, you know, that helped to ease probably some of the concerns of some of those jurors that didn't want to, act against the police. They made this into a case about a person instead of a title. They made this a case about a man who killed another human being. And this man was so callous and so disrespectful, he didn't even care that he was being filmed. He had complete malice. He epitomized malice. So it's a good thing that this man is, being locked up and that he has been found guilty on these charges. I'm sure it's going to be some people defending, Derek Chauvin and all that kind of stuff, but I'm glad that that jury had the sense to do the right thing. And I may be back on here with more commentary. I've been taking a break from YouTube because I'm fasting for the month of Ramadan. But yeah, I will be back with my regular content in about a month or so. So I hope that you all stay tuned. Subscribe to this channel. If you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I post new content on here. Yeah, but I just had to get on here to announce this. This is great news. This is a positive development. And I hope that this is a turning point for this country. So with that, peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Please rate, comment, subscribe, like the video, share the video, hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I post new content on here. Peace and blessings. Have a great day. And I want to send my condolences again to the George Floyd family. And, may the brother rest in power and peace. Peace.